Punchers. That's right. It's Friday. And not only is it the end of the week, but you know what time it is. It's time for John's Dungeon Corner right here at the Collective in Altamont Springs, Florida. Wow. Good stuff. Yes, I know. Where'd this guy come from? I know you're questioning it already. But you know what? Xanthar's cousin said it was okay, so and I can't tell you his real name either because you know how quasits are. You know, once you know their real name, that's it. So, but he's going to hang out with us for a little bit today. And by the way, just so y'all know, you can own your own very own Quasit right here at the Collective. You can come by and pick one up. You don't have to do any circles of summoning or be a high level anything or even be anything. Just come and get one. And you can take it home and it can help you out with whatever it is you do. I don't know how good it is at homework, but hey, who knows? Anyway, with that, oh boy, the things that happen on this show are crazy. All right, so let's talk shop, right? So what cool new things have come in? Well, here we go. One of the first things that came in, or I kind of showed you a preview of them, were these awesome these spell codexes by Dragon Shield for role playing. Now they came in blue, green, white, red. Okay. You know, I bought the white one last time and I showed it off to you. Holds 160 spell cards in it or item cards, or they're just a cool thing to have. I think pretty much if you put everything in here, I think you can probably get all your spells in here. I, of course, only have Bardic. I'm using for my Bard, so I only have what spells I use, which aren't that many that I have in my spellbook. But I'm pretty sure you could fit just about every single spell card, right? Remember, I showed you the book. Oh, let me put that out there. But I showed you what they're like inside. They look like parchment. Oh, and things just keep falling out. And these are really cool. And then on this one, you can put this in the sleeve here. And this is like let's keep track of our spells, right? So we got our spell tag bonus, our spell DC. I don't know why I'm squinting when I got my glasses right here for me to see. All right, here we go. All right, and we got our spells and as we use them, okay? Active spells and some miscellaneous notes. And then, of course, we have a blank parchment page that we can put on the back side and we can write on. Also, so it's really nice. It even comes with a dry erase marker in it already. It is an awesome buy. I thoroughly enjoy it, and I'll probably be picking up another one. I like to keep one, believe it or not. Happy Friday, Sarah. Welcome to the show. Look. The assistant's assistant, okay? It's the assistant's assistant. I got it right. Don't worry. Good grief. He gives me that look. This guy gives you a look like nobody else can, okay? But we got, by the way, Sarah, we got all the cool spell codexes in different colors. Blue, white, red, green, all right? Really nice, really nice. I was just talking about those. Very cool, very cool. They are a great help. I like it. Keeps all my spells and stuff. And you know what? If you wanted to, and you could use your portfolio in conjunction with this, and it's a great 1-2 punch because you can keep all your equipment cards in one with your magical items and stuff, and then keep all your spell cards in those codex. No, they look really nice. And I want to bring back something else that Dragon Shield came out with. This is the Player Companion RPG Accessory Box and Dice Tray. Okay, I'm going to kind of come up here. Yeah, I'm going to have to come up here because I want y'all to see this really cool. Let me move these out of the way. We'll talk about those in just a second, too. All right, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to put this up here so it doesn't fall to the ground and mess itself up. Okay, so got this nice piece of foam to keep everything together, but this is it here. All right. Oh, and there goes the pencil. Oh, well, there. The marker, dry erase marker here. You got a sheet here that's really nice. And I love this kind of stuff, okay? Here we go. This is what I want to show you. So here it is. You can put your character here. You got this neat little stand here, all right? That helps out, okay? This is the Game Master. I'm going to show you the companion box because I've already shown you both of these. But so you can use this center part as a dice tray here. All right. And here you can keep your dice all along in here. There's 2 boxes here that are really nice to keep your dice in. All right. So that's really cool there. You can put your character here. You also have a part here where you can slide your character sheet underneath if you want to write with it, or if you just want to take notes, if there's something important you want to put up there. So it really depends on what you want to do with it, okay? Very nice, keeps everything nice and secure, all in one spot. So I like that. And it comes with a cool little, the Curse of Ripidin, the Knight Captain. So anyway, nice stuff, real cool stuff going on there. All right, let's put this up. But I like it. We've got a couple of these floating around. And, you know, the neat thing about all these accessories are I've always said it, there's a little something for everyone, okay? Maybe somebody doesn't want something that big. They'd rather stick with the portfolio. There's nothing wrong with just keeping your character sheet in sheets or just writing on them with pencil, whatever it is you want. Oh, dear. I need to put this back in here because that's where this goes. Okay, right. Let me put that back in here. Okay, there we go. All right. They look really cool. They do. No, these spell codexes really do look cool. I mean, you said that already. I said it, but they do look really neat. Like I said, I have one already. I'm looking forward to getting a second one, probably the blue one or something, or maybe even a green one, depending on what character I want it for. You know, I'm waiting for the purple one. That's what I really want, is the purple one. Oh, I'm not done. Before we get on to our topic, I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, so dice. These are really cool. These are by Enhance. Okay, this is a metal RPG dice set. All right, it has the 7 dice in it. Comes with a cool little dice bag. Black, red, black. These are purple, of course. They look really neat. I don't think there's an easy way of opening them, so I'm not going to open these, all right? But there they are. They're really nice looking dice. Metals. They feel pretty solid in here. Full set of dice by Enhance, who also happens to make these dice trays and dice holders, all right? So here we go. All right, so here we have, you put your dice in here. Nice zipper netted little area to keep your dice safe. And then you roll in here, all right? Neat thing about this is if you just want to separate the two, unlike a lot of others, it just separates. So you just keep that in front of you and keep the dice over on the other side. And then put it back together. You just slide this part back in like so and zipper it right back up. Close it right back up. All right? So there you go. It's as easy as that. It's got the neat little logo. In fact, Enhance, if you guys remember my Gold Dragon bag, this is the company that made it. Now they've got the dragon looking boxes and they got the cool metal dice. It also comes in just the standard non-dragon skin, which is really neat. Okay, same thing. All right, nice box there. Nice rolling box and dice tray. All right, so good stuff. And of course, we got the closet in. He wants to refer to his. Oh. These are simply amazing. I got to show you these. Look at this. These are Goliath coins, right? Fantasy mythology. So look at this one. This is a 5-headed dragon, 2-sided display coin with a stand. It's a display coin, but wouldn't that be a cool piece? That's the front there. Okay, so obviously, like a Hydra, right? Look at that. Let me see if I can get it in there nice. Look at that. Really nice, right? And this is what the back looks like. And there's many of them now. So this one was this is a Roof Thompson. Roof Thompson is an amazing fantasy artist. Does other art, but fantasy art. I've got quite a couple of her pieces. And look at this. This is one of the dragons. This is the Seablade. Now, the reason it's called the Seablade is because it's a series, right? It's the Roof Thompson collection. And look at the back. Those are the 5 dragon blades. Look at that. So that's the Seablade. The Flame Blade. Now, different colors, the same 5 swords on the back with what they look like. So imagine, now take this coin, right? And let's say that the quest is to find, now this is the Blood Blade. I don't know where, these aren't exactly in any one type of order. I'm trying, oh, here we go. The Night Blade. I'm going to try and get all of them. I'm going to try and see if I can find the 5 of them. Well, here are 4 of them anyway. Okay, so this is Bloodblade, and they all have dragons on them. Okay, once again, the 5 dragons on the back. Gorgeous coins. That's more like that one was copper. This is more like a goldish. This is definitely silver. The Nightblade. Okay, and once again, the 5 blades on the back. And I don't know what the 5th blade is because I don't see it in here. But if you got all 5 coins, let me see if I can find it. You know, there's Frank Frazetta. For those of you who are Frank Frazetta fans, this is a nice collection of coins here that they made. Okay. And on the back of the Frazetta coin, it looks like this. So, let's see if I can find the other one. There's a Dragon series in here. Amy Brown, and Albert, Dracolich. These are all like collections by really popular artists. I'm trying to sit there and see if I can find that 5th coin, sword coin. I don't see it. Oh, wow. Somebody may have bought it, I guess. Oh, wait. Here it is. The Netherblade. These are all gorgeous coins. Look at that. That's the Netherblade by Ruth Thompson. The artwork. Look at that. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. So anyway, there's some dragons. Oh, here we go. For those of you who are Frank Frazetta fans, hey, Willie, welcome to the show. For those of you, this is an iconic. This is the Death Dealer. This is like one of his iconic paintings and that you've ever seen. Of course, you've seen this many a time. That's the Death Dealer by Frank Frazetta. Okay. And the neat thing about this coin is it's got, I mean, obviously he passed away, but it's like a memorial to him, 1928 to 2010. But the Death Dealer, that's an iconic drawing of his, a painting of his that's always will live on, obviously. But it's a beautiful coin collection. And no, I can't tell you how much they are because I don't know myself. And they're not priced. This is something that just came in. Hasn't even hit the floor yet. So, with that in mind, you might want to stop by and talk to Brendan about it and maybe grab a couple of those, huh? Dungeon Masters, I can't but tell you what you can do with these coins. They can be like badges of, like a medal, a badge of courage that's given by the king or a high-ranked official as a badge of, hey, this person can go freely anywhere in our kingdom as long as they have this coin. You know, this group has been awarded this coin. Or maybe it can be a part of a storyline to find a magical item, right? Okay? So, hey, think about it. Everything that comes out can become a set. Or, you know, it's got a little stand. You can just put it up on your wall and say, ooh, that's cool. Where'd you get that coin, right? There you go. There's things like that, too. Of course, I'm always thinking about how can I use it in my campaign, right? What? Oh, no, you're right. You're right. It can be part of someone's horde. This guy. Really? They just haven't even priced, man. All right. We'll talk later about it. I'll talk to Brendan and see if he wants to put one over there by you for you to. Yeah. Anyway. All right. So let's get on to the topic of the day. These guys will keep me going. What? No, you can't sit there and help me with the show. You just sit there and look like a closet. Oh, boy. I should have known better than let this guy on the show. Yeah, I'm talking about you. All right. So anyway, let's talk Dungeons and Dragons. Let's talk magical items. I opened up a can of worms when I talked about magical items, didn't I? Okay, so I got I got more than enough emails asking me different questions, but they kind of fall into 2 different categories at this point. Where did all those magical items come from? Well, the books, I didn't bring all the books back out again because I'm not. That was just something I wanted to show you that there are other resources out there. And I normally don't do that, but it's all 5e. It's all Dungeons and Dragons. And the best part is it's all for the enjoyment of the game, right? And that's what this is about. Playing a game that we all enjoy with the people that we like to hang out with. It's a camaraderie thing. It's a lot of things you can do with family and friends, acquaintances, you know, even strangers that will eventually become acquaintances and maybe friends. So, with that being said, I showed you that there are other things out there. I did print a couple things because I wanted to bring them out because I guess a couple people were confused about some of the things that I was talking about and the levels, the different magic levels for magical items. Okay. Hey, Antonio, what's in front of me? Oh, boy, Antonio. So really quick, we got a Quasit. He's joined us. I can't tell you his name because, Quasits. We got those codexes, the spell codexes that hold 180 cards and have the neat little sheet and stuff on them. And then we got enhanced dice, the all metal dice, nice sets. They come in with its own pouch. We got if you remember my gold dragon case, these are actually made by the same company, Enhance, and they're dice trays, dice holder dice trays. Okay. And I think that's about it. Whew, I kind of ran through that quick, didn't I? But I should leave one of these spell codexes out so as people come in and ask, what is that stuff? I can kind of show you, right? That's only fair. I like, me, I don't mind. I like interaction. Interaction's the mother of creation. All right, so this is what they look like. You see, you guys get to see it a second time. I'm gonna bring it up close this time. Here it is. That's the blue one. They all got different sigils in the front. And then on the inside, they have, of course, 180. You can hold 180 spell cards in there, or whatever cards. You got the spell bonus, spell DC, anything that related with magic. And on the back, there's a neat little sheet that you can use. And it's all, you got a piece of plastic here that you can slide it behind. You can make notes on for the adventure. Other thing is, it actually comes with a dry erase marker right in the middle. So, magnetic clasp. Ta-da! Just like that. All right. So, I'm going to leave that out there like that now, instead of in its box. It feels freer out of the box. All right. So, now let's talk about magical items. Boy. Okay, so from the player side of things, there were two questions that really, and the DM side, kind of, how do we create our own magical items? Ooh, boy. That's a bag of worms. That's a can of worms. I'm going to tell you that right now. First of all, let me tell you that it's something that you would definitely have to do during downtime, unless your DM wants to have his hand in it, the entire process, okay? The entire step by step. And it may be that, depending on what it is you're creating. And a disclaimer, a little heads up, a warning, a word of caution, however you want to look at it, however you want to take it. Remember, everything that I'm going to tell you is from my point of view as a game master, as a dungeon master, as a guideline, okay? Your DM of your game, the person running your game, will determine what to use and not use, how to use it, whether they want to sit there and implement something more, something less, okay? I'm just going to kind of give you the basics straight out of the book. I'm going to kind of tell you a little bit of what I do, and then the rest is up to you and your dungeon master. If you're a dungeon master, then the rest is up to you. The buck stops with you, although I never stop listening to my players, and sometimes I actually do. I take what they say and put it into the game, or we hash it out to where it'll work in the game, all right? That's the neat part about this. Remember, the books are just guidelines. Dungeon Master's Guide, the Player's Handbook, the Monster Manual. You can work anything to fit your campaign however you need, all right? So with that being said, let's move on. I like to give you the pages of what it is I'm reading. So straight out the DM's guide, right? Page 128, page 129. There's not a lot to it, okay? Creating it says crafting a magic item. It's pretty simple. Down here, it starts talking about what it is you need to do. But it does tell you the creation of a magic item is lengthy, expensive task. A very lengthy, so it takes a while, and it is an expensive task, okay? Now, with that being said, you can decide what that certain types also require now as a DM. Now, remember, this is the DM's guide, so it's really talking to the DM. But I want the players to hear this so that you can understand what the DM has to work with also, all right? It's not all black and white. It's not all formatted for them. A lot of it comes to them. So it says, you can decide that certain items also require special materials or locations to be created. For example, a character might need alchemist supplies to brew a particular potion, or the formula for a flame tongue might require that the weapon be forged with lava. Okay? All right. So depending on the rarity of the item, common, uncommon, rare, very rare, legendary, depends on what it costs and how much and how long. How much and how long. So an item has a creation cost, which is on this table. And I'm not going to tell you what the numbers are. You can go look at it. All right. I'm just telling you. And then there's minimum levels. Like for common and uncommon, it's 3rd level. Rare is 6. 11th for very rare. Legendary items are minimum 17th level. So a character engaged in the crafting of a magical item makes progress in 25 gold piece increments, spending that amount for each day of work until the total cost is paid. The character is assumed to work for 8 hours each of those days. Thus, creating an uncommon magic item takes 20 days and 500 gold. You are free to adjust the cost to better suit your campaign. There's a lot of money, it might go up. Not so much money, might go down. Might go up also if magical items are rare, especially player-created magical items. Then they become rare, all right? Depends on what it is you're trying to create. So remember, DMs, that's up to you. Play with it. Incorporate it however you like. It is your world after all. Now, this is an interesting part because this is actually something that came up and it actually explains it here. Can more than one wizard, more than one creator work on a magical item? Answer to that is yes. Multiple characters can combine their efforts to create a magic item if each of them meets the level prerequisite. That's the catch. So if you want to create a rare magical item, everybody who works on this must be a minimum of 6th level. Okay, that's the minimum level. All right. Let's see. Each character can contribute spells, spell slots, and components as long as everyone participates during the entire crafting process. Now, there's the other part of this. Everybody. So let's say there's 3 of us, and we're all 6th level, just to make it easy. All right. And we decide we're going to create this sword. All 3 of us have to be present during the creation of this sword. Now, a rare item takes at minimum 5,000 gold divided by 25. Okay, now you see where I'm going with this. All right, so think about it. This 500 gold piece item, okay, that we were talking about earlier, would take, what did it say? So we did. Right. 20 days. So you're looking at, let's see, 20. So 40 days, 200 days. It would take 200 days, almost a year, to create a rare item. That's 200, depending on how long your world is. You know, how many months there are and how many weeks or days there are in a week, and so on and so forth. But this is per day, 200 days. That's in our world, that would be the better part of almost a year. Yeah, maybe like almost 6.5 months to create it. So actually, a little bit closer to 7 months. Yeah, wow. And it would cost 5,000 gold, and that means we would have to put in 8 hours a day. 8 hours a day. You can basically, now here's the other catch. When crafting a magic item, a character can maintain a modest lifestyle without having to pay the 1 gold piece per day or comfortable lifestyle at half the normal cost. So there's a lot of little things that come out. It's not like you're going to be able to go adventuring where you're trying to create this magical item. Now, some DMs, and you talk to your DM, because if they go, okay, well, you're going to do this, it's going to take you however long it takes you. This is how many hours you have to put into it. Whenever it's done, it's done. So those 8-hour days could come in between your adventure. So you go out in your adventure, you come back a week later, and let's say your downtime is a month. Okay, there goes 30 days of it. I'm going to work on this. I work on it 8 hours a day. I might do a little studying, this, that, but here it is, 30 days. I am, okay. So there goes 30 days out of your 200. Now you got 170 days left. And next time you may do 10 days. And between the next adventure, you may have 5 days and then 25 days. And until you meet that number of 200 days, at which time then the magical item is done. So see, it's not an overnight process. It's not like I can go presto magic item. Magic doesn't quite work like that. Okay. And there is a cost involved. And I will tell you, a bare minimum price for a legendary item is 500,000 gold pieces. So take 200 days, multiply times 100, and 20,000 days later, there you go. Oh my gosh. Anyway, yeah. It's like I said, it's not easy. Those legendary items you find in the game, remember, they're only one of a kind. There's only one of it ever. And it took somebody almost a good portion of their life to create it. Okay. So there you have that. Okay. So I hope I answered your question. I know it just made it more confusing because there's a lot of things that might go into, like the flame tongue having to be made from lava. Ooh, how do I get lava? Couple different ways. Let's see. If I make it, since it's going to be a rare item, I might be powerful enough to summon an earth elemental or fire elemental, depending on which way you want to go, and create the lava. Have them create the lava for me so I can forge it in it, right? Or I can go find a lava stream somewhere and forge it next to the lava stream. Set up a temporary little workshop and create it there. Except if it takes 200 days, you see. So there's a lot of things you got to think about when you create these magical items. Sometimes it's just better to go chase one down. Now, so that's that. Okay. Now, other things that, of course, with the flavor of the game, like I said, there are a lot of helpful tools out there. And I printed some stuff out from different sources. Did you say gold? That's what we need? Well, yeah, you need gold. Yes, gold. Lots and lots of gold. Indeed. So I went to 3 different sites. I went to 3 different sites, and this is just 3 sites that I just use here and there whenever I want something simple and nice to just put into the game. I'm not going to tell you what the sites are. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm just kind of show you some comparisons, some things that you can do. All right. So other than the magical items in the Dungeon Master's Guide, right? In the Dungeon Master's Guide. There are other sources, those books that I showed you about, and online. Okay, so this one is a really neat one. It's an armor. It's actually kind of mundane. All right. Here's the neat thing with it. It's a mundane armor, so it can be any type of. Well, this says scale mail, but you can make this plate mail, anything that's heavy, chain mail, whatever. And basically it says this armor was created by a powerful celestial and was infused with some magic, with this magic that reduces the normal weight to half the normal weight. And it is inscribed with feathered wings, suns, and other symbols of good. Evil creatures find this armor to be repulsive. Makes sense, right? So it's got a little backlash to it. Fiendish evil creatures find this to be a repulsive set of armor because it's emblazoned with all these symbols of good. But, it's scale mail. You can make it plate mail. You can make it. And the nice part about it, it's half the normal weight. That's what the magic is. It was created, it was infused with magic to make it lighter. That's all it is. That's what makes it magical. Okay? Nice and simple, but hey, who would not want a nice set of armor that gives you a good armor class for half the weight? I'll take it if nobody wants it. Now, I went through and I printed up, and these are just random, by the way. These are just random things it spits out. These are random generators. Although there are some that you can put in particular things in there, and it'll spit stuff out too. And by the way, that was a common magical item. Common. Which I agree with. Sometimes it's kind of a little crazy what they do, but hey. Okay, now, this one here is a rare magical item that I'm going to read off to you. It's called Twilight Sling. It's a sling, so you can use it as a weapon, all right? But here's what it does. Once per short rest, when you crit with this weapon, it casts Hex on the target. Roll a d6 to determine which of the target's attributes is weakened. Okay, the bearer cannot transfer the curse to another creature. Okay, it's a little different than the other Hex, but it's nice. It's a thing. You can even make this an uncommon, but the neat thing is that after every short rest, that's what's important. every short rest it can do that, as opposed to a long rest with some. Okay, so that's really neat. Here's a set of magical armor. Scale of Mail of the Swift, legendary. Now this is legendary. You could actually probably make this a very rare, but it's legendary. Your movement speed is increased by 20 feet. Now, stop and think about that. Scale Mail armor. Your speed is increased by 20 feet. So that means that a character can go 20, now goes 40, 30 goes 50, and 40 goes 60. That's some nice movement. Okay? That's probably why it's legendary. But, you know, I don't know if that's such a game breaker. You might make this a very rare set of armors that are made or something, you know. I don't know. It could fit into your campaign or not. Completely up to you. Then there's this common one that's called the Chill Mask. Basically, it contains, there's a mask that you wear. It's magic trinkets, considered a magic trinket. Contains 1d4 unreplenishable charges of the Ray of Frost spell, first level. So, you know, it's kind of cool. The spider's running around with this mask on. Now, when it says unreplenishable, it means this. Once those 1d4 charges are gone, that's it. It's done. So it's kind of like a 1 through 4 shotter. Okay? So that's it. Now, from the same place, I got, this is a very rare one. It's a magic weapon called the Diplomatic Great Axe. The bearer gains 1 language proficiency chosen by the DM. Or you can even let the person choose it, you know, whatever. It's all good. But the magic, basically, it's one way to get more items. Remember, we had talked about that. How do I get more items, more languages into the game? How can we learn more? Well, this is one of them. Okay? You gain 1 language proficiency. But if you want to make it a little bit more, instead of a rare, you can make it a very rare and give it 2 languages proficiencies. Doesn't all that would do? And listen, it's not magical in any way. It's not +1 to hit or anything. It just allows the bearer to gain 1 language, or 2 if you want to up the level of the weapon. It's a way to get things into your game for more role playing, right? Okay, here goes a set of magical armor. Studded leather armor of the Unyielding. This is uncommon. The bearer may treat this as +1 armor if they have taken damage since the beginning of the last turn. So last turn I got hit for 2 points of damage. Now I can treat this as +1 armor. This effect ends at the beginning of their next turn. Unless, of course, what? I took damage this turn, in which case it still stays +1. So as long as I keep taking damage, it's +1 magical armor. All right. And this is the Tactician's Pursuit book. Now, this is an interesting one, all right? It has it down as an artifact. You could bring this down to very rare if you wanted to get into the game, all right? Once per long rest, you can utilize the Battle Master's disarming attack and trip attack maneuvers. If you do not already have a superiority die, you gain 1 as a d6. There you go. It's usable 1 per long rest, and that's a big deal because short rest is what? 1 hour. Long rest is what? 8 hours. So that one item that we talked about that can do it, what was it? Once per short rest. That one can be used 8 times with short rests in an hour. It can be used pretty much once an hour after resting. Whereas this one, you have to wait 8 hours after a long rest to be able to recharge it. So there you go. And then I have 3 of those ones that we were talking that I had shown you. So these are, this set is an uncommon set. They're called the Braces of the Masterpiece. It requires attunement. Now, these do not require attunement. Oh, wait. Some of them did. I didn't tell you. But the Battle Masters, the artifacts did, as did the rare, very rare ones. The rare one did not. And the uncommon and the common did not. So, an attunement, remember what I talked about? You have to, for 24 hours, it has to be with you. You have to keep it in your place. That's what I do, 24 hours. And then it's attuned to you. There you go. Then you can use its full magical power. Now, the Braces of the Masterpiece. Blessed by whatever deity you want to make it. Once per long rest, when you fail a death save, you may choose instead to succeed on that save. So, you know, you're knocked unconscious. It comes around. You roll the d20. It comes up a 4. Death. Nope. You said, you know what? I'm going to use my save And I'm gonna say, or you can save it to see. You can just save it, and on that last one, it's like, oh, wait, timeout. I'm gonna use it to make that a save. There you go. Okay. Warning of the effervescent courage. This is a uncommon heavy crossbow. Basically, when you're this also requires attunement. This is your attack with the weapon score. Your attacks with this weapon score a critical hit on a roll of 19 to 20. Okay. So basically, what that is it's a regular heavy crossbow, but instead of critting just on 20s, if I roll a 19 or a 20, I get a crit out of it. That's pretty cool, right? How often does that happen? But it's a neat little magical item for somebody who likes, and you can turn this into a bow. I mean, it comes out a crossbow, make it a bow, a long bow or short bow, if you want to get into the hands, or a light crossbow if that's what they have, okay? Okay, and then this is called the Cardinal Staff. So it also requires attunement. It says enchanted. This item grants you a +1 to your spell attack and damage rolls. Very cool, right? And that's, for wizards and people who use spells can use that to great benefit, I think. But once again, how often does a sorcerer really want to get into hand-to-hand? So the staff acts more as a hey, look, it helps me with my spells, it helps me with my damage roll. So you get a +1. So when they roll for their magic missiles, which is 1d4 +1, it now becomes 1d4 +2. That's kind of cool, so it is helpful. And it's uncommon that way, but it does require attunement. So there you have it. There's the balancing act there. Now, with all that said, let me talk about a couple of other things that were asked. I mentioned some ideas that I have for my game. I have in my game currently a thing called Ancestral Weapons. All right, I read this in a book. It's in a book that Antonio provided, got me, and I wanted to try it. And so far, it's so good. Ancestral weapons, pretty much, they're weapons that are handed down. So yes, the character starts with the weapon, or you can have them find it or whatever. However you want to do it. I let them start with it because I want to try them. I want to see what they do and how it progresses in the game. So a couple of them have ancestral weapons in different forms, and they do totally radically different things. All right. One's in the hands of a spellcaster, the other one's in the hands of a warrior. And they're ancestral weapons. And what happens is they start out just their normal weapon, and they start out, I think, with a correct me if I'm wrong, Antonio, if you're still there. Does this start out with a +1? We've been playing. They just got the second level recently. So we've been playing pretty much at first level for almost a year. Yes, that's right, a year, because we don't meet every week. We meet every like 4 to 6 weeks. We meet once. So it's taking that long to get to second level. But I believe it starts at first level, +1, and it gives them a couple of things that they can do. They have X amount of points to put into it. I let them choose what they wanted to. I could have said, okay, it starts with this and this, but I approve what their choices are, and they have to explain to me why it makes sense for the weapon to have it. Okay, so we move on. And as they grow in levels, the weapon grows stronger with them. Kind of cool. I want to see how that works out. I want to see how it balances itself out, because it takes a lot of points to get it from like a +1 weapon to +2. And so as the powers get stronger, as they add more things, there's more and more points that have to be spent, and they only get so many points per. So sometimes it may go 2 or 3 levels without getting any weapon better, and then it gets better. Okay, so there you have that. That's an ancestral weapon. The book is out there online. You can find it. If you want, message me privately, and I'll ask Antonio, and I'll send you that gives you one way of putting different weapons in the game, other than having to go the route of, artifact weapons. Now, 2, I also have something with synergy. All right. The players don't know this yet, but I know Sarah and Antonio are listening, but that's okay. They're good about this. And my other players who will watch this they're really good at separating in-game information from out-of-game information. But there's something that I do that I've seen in video games, really. It's not something I came up with, but it's something I've been wanting to try. And it's where you synergize sets of magical armor. People who have played video games will remember this from quite a few different games. Basically, it says, okay, you take a ring. Okay, let's forget a ring. Let's put a warrior, a set of boots, an armor, a shield, a weapon, and a helmet. You can do 5 of them. You can do 4. You can do 3. However, depending on the power of the synergized items that you want, once they're all together, that's how many pieces you want to put together, right? I'm not going to tell you how to do it because I'm experimenting with it myself. Okay, but taking that scenario of the 5. Okay, so let's start with let's start with the sword. That's the easiest. It could be it's the sword of defense. Okay, you just call it it's a set. The whole set is a defensive set. It's designed for a warrior that likes defense. Okay, yeah, it's a +1, but the +1 can be used for either armor class or to hit. That's it. No damage. Now listen to what I said. Not damage. I said you have a choice. That +1 magical ability can be used to add on to your armor class or used to hit a creature. There you go. So they get no damage bonus out of it when they hit with it. They get just their normal damage. All right? Okay. It is considered a magical weapon. Okay. Now, when they find the armor of defense, and I'm just keeping it simple. You can give it some elaborate names. You can name it the Emerald Set of defense, or give it some cool name. It may be a suit of chainmail. Okay. And when it comes into play, all right, it gives you a +1 armor class. All right. Now you have the combination that the two give you. I don't know. You can take it if you're a fighter, a defensive maneuver, or you could just double the times that he could do something. I mean, it depends. There's so much you can do with it. But the idea is that as you add every piece, as you add another piece, it gets better. Let's say, let me back that up. Let's call it the protection. The gilded set, the golden gilded set of protection, armored set of protection. And let's take the sword out completely. It's a set of boots, or it's a belt. It's a belt, a chainmail armor, a set of gauntlets, and a helmet. It's not even a shield. It's just the armor pieces. Okay. So they're gilded, and each one is gilded in a different metal. Okay. So we got the silver, the gold, the electrum gilded, and the platinum gilded helmet, or however you want to do it. And each one now, in the hands of a paladin, it works like this because it's protection, right? So once again, the armor is good for armor. The armor gives you your +1 on your defense. Once you get the bracers, though, right? Now the bracers give you, since healing hand, laying on the hands, gives you an extra die or an extra level of healing, or it doubles your healing. Now, a lot of people are going to go, oh my gosh, that's very powerful. Not really. I mean, so let's say he's a 4th level paladin. What does he get? Plus your level times, what is it? Times first level is like 10. So you might be at 15 by then, somewhere between 12 and 15, 16, and it doubles it. Okay, awesome. Now his lay of hands can do 32 once per long rest. You can double it 1 time per long rest, which is awesome, because if they're low on healers, it's nice to have that paladin who has that ability because he has that match set. And then when he gets the boots, let's say he may get what other paladin abilities are there? Let me think. I don't want to do anything with smite because that would that's something I don't want to mess with. But it's protection. It's something to do with protection. I don't know what I'd do. I'd have to think that through. That's, like I said, I'm working on this as I go, and I only have 1 set in the game that I'm going to try this out with. And if it works, good. It'll work out good. If it doesn't, well, then I'll have to rearrange or just table it. Okay. The other thing that in fact, one of the games that just came out and has caught the world by storm again, Diablo does, is socketed magical gems, where certain weapons are socketed, and you can put different gems that do different things on the weapon to make it have fire attributes or ice attributes or this damage or that damage. It's pretty neat. I've always thought of doing that. I still don't know. I haven't done anything with it, but it's something that you can think about. I'm sure somebody else has thought about this too. But you can get ideas and become more expansive. You can reach more far-reaching with your magical items. Just look at the games around you. Read the stories that you read, the books that you enjoy. See what they're doing. See what they do as far as magic, and you can incorporate that in the game. There's nothing saying in your world that you aren't like, socketed weapons or synergized armor set, weapon sets, or sets of whatever, or that you have ancestral weapons, or that there's very few weapons, and the only weapons that exist are soulbound to the player. My gosh, it's endless. I'm just kind of throwing out what I'm working on and what I might be working on, so that you have an idea that you don't have to reinvent the wheel. There are so many different ways of working with magical items. Oh my gosh, magical items can be as powerful as an artifact or as simple as that armor that just weighs magically. That scale mail armor now only weighs half. Well, what good is that? Well, think about it. If you can only carry so much weight and you lose half the armor, half the weight of a chainmail suit of armor, that's awesome. That is awesome. And if your players are having a problem carrying weight, there's no reason not to throw them a goodie. Look, there's nothing wrong with a party having a bag of holding. Not at all. There's a lot you can do with that. Somebody might steal it, might rip open. If there's something really important in there and somehow gets pierced, opens up a extra dimensional pocket to the plane, the ethereal plane. Oh my gosh, we gotta go get that sword. We can't just let that sword run around in there, right? It was supposed to be in the bag for safe keeping, and somehow the bag got ripped. Oh my god! So it can lead to really cool stuff. You just have to think beyond the box. One bit of advice when you're creating these new magical items, right? Make sure that you start backwards. It's almost like what I was talking about character creation. Think about where you want to end up and then bring it backwards. Well, think about what the ultimate, once this set of 4 or 5 pieces or 3 pieces come together, what is going to be the effect each of these pieces? What is the ultimate effect that it's going to have? Okay, well, let's think it through. All right, so it's going to do this. Okay, and then work it back. So once these pieces are together, this. These pieces are together, this. Now you can do one little thing all the way through, like increase maybe a staff, a ring, a pendant. These 3 pieces will allow a wizard or a spellcaster, an arcane spellcaster, to double their first level spells, double their first and second level spells, and double their first, second, and third level spells once they have all 3. That sounds pretty powerful, right? Not really. I mean, what? They get 4 magical spells, so now they have 8, 8, and 8. So they have 24 spells. By the time they get all those spells, they're going to probably need them anyway. And that's just a suggestion. You can do it half again. So instead of 4, it's 6, 6, and 6. I don't know. Whatever you want to do with it. Maybe they can cast fire spells, an extra fire spell. Maybe they can cast. There's so much you can do with that. But it adds a whole other dimension to your game, so that this is my magical item. Wow, there's only one set. I mean, how many magical wands how many wands of magic missiles are out there? Oh, it's an uncommon, I think, or a common item. I mean, how many can it be? How many +1 swords and +1 this? But wouldn't it be cool if I had something that's all mine, and if I can find this whole set that revolves around this, now I've got my very own suit of the Emerald Armor of Fortitude. And all of them have emeralds in them, or they're emerald colored. That's kind of cool because there's only that one suit. All right. And you can have one like the emerald, the sapphire. You can carry a whole theme around that. Or you can just make it that's that one suit. And the blessed armor of this, and the whatever, the protection set, the blessed set, defense, attack, pyromancy, I don't know, necromancy, and build whole suits of stuff around there, whole synergized outfits, sets around it. Same thing with the ancestral weapons. Each one is personalized. This is my ancestral weapon. There's only this one of it. There may be other ancestral weapons, but this one belongs to my family, to my clan, to my whatever. All right, so you get the idea? All right, so I think I've talked enough. I hope that helped. It gave you guys some more ideas, opened up some paths, some avenues of approach for you to kind of look at magical items as a part of the campaign, as just more than just a reward, but like almost like a badge of honor. This is you. This is yours and yours only. Okay? And listen, let me tell you, there's no reason why every character couldn't have their own little thing. All right. Oh, thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. Every character should be made to feel special, whether it's a fighter, a wizard, or a druid, or rogue. They can have their own little niches, and they will. You know, a great cleric, it would be cool if they're a war cleric that had a suit of armor that enhanced, or a weapon that enhanced that ability of theirs to do the special second attack, the divine right, or whatever they call it, the divine strike of might. I don't remember what. I always give things so many. My problem is that I give these abilities these cool fancy names for the characters to use, and I can't even remember what the real name of the ability is. I know what it does, but I couldn't tell you what the name is. I can tell you where to go look for it. But anyway, so you get the idea, right? Make it special for them. Look, you put this guy in the game, they're going to wish they had that and so much more, okay? There are creatures out there that will, no matter how strong a party is, oh, hello, love. Say hi to everybody. You're on the show.
Hi. Oh, hi.
There she is. There's my wife calling from Nebraska.
From Nebraska.
Yep. So I'm on the show still, but you can listen in. I'm kind of closing down. So you call up. See, this is a special show. It is live, by the way. Things happen on the show. So, like I said, make them feel special. There's monsters out there that no matter what you build in your world, look, put an ancient red dragon or black dragon or any type of dragon out there. And good luck, Mr. 20th level warriors who are 20th level party who thinks they're God's gift to the game. There are creatures that will put you in their place. All right. Remember that. Have fun with the game, but don't make the game about, yes, you're a hero. My gosh, you're a superhero. In fact, you're the hero of heroes. But there's always someone better. Trust me. Someone else's sword is just a little bit better. Someone's armor deflecting is just a little better. And I would not want to run into an elder beholder like Xanathar. That I will tell you. I don't care what level you are. So remember, have fun with the game first and foremost, and everything else is just treasure. Hey, treasures, shiny things are good. But anyway, so this is John from John's Dungeon Corner, leaving you for today. And as always, may the road rise up to meet your feet, and may all your adventures be successful. Oh, one last thing. The 17th is not this Saturday, next Saturday. We are going to do the game day here, and we got that Battle Royale, okay? So make sure that you show up because it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to have like 4 or 5 DMs here running these games for you, keeping you entertained, and it's going to be loads of fun, loads and loads of fun. So I'll see you then. Well, no, I'll see you Friday actually before then. But until then, have a great weekend and take care. Thanks for hanging out.
Happy trails, adventurers.